the annals of human history, few concepts have been as thoroughly examined and debated as the nature of evil. From ancient philosophical treatises to modern psychological studies, the quest to understand the dark side of human nature has been a constant pursuit. However, amidst this ongoing discourse, one voice stands out with a provocative and unsettling assertion that stupidity, not evil, poses the greatest threat to humanity. This bold claim comes from Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German Lutheran pastor, theologian, and anti-Nazi dissident. Bonhoeffer's life and work were profoundly shaped by his experiences during the rise of Nazi Germany, a period that provided him with a unique vantage point from which to observe the interplay between evil and stupidity on a grand scale. Bonhoeffer's assertion challenges our conventional understanding of societal dangers. While evil is often seen as the primary threat to human well-being and progress, Bonhoeffer argues that stupidity, in its various forms, can be far more insidious and destructive. This perspective forces us to reconsider our assumptions about the nature of harm and the mechanisms by which societies can be led astray. To fully grasp the implications of Bonhoeffer's argument, it is essential to examine the context in which it was formulated. Born in 1906, Bonhoeffer came of age during the tumultuous years of the Weimar Republic. He witnessed firsthand the economic hardships, political instability, and social upheaval that characterized this period in German history. As the Nazi Party rose to power, Bonhoeffer became increasingly alarmed by the regime's actions and ideology. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Bonhoeffer refused to remain silent in the face of Nazi oppression. He became an active member of the German resistance, using his position within the church to speak out against the regime's policies and to assist those targeted by Nazi persecution. This courageous stance ultimately led to his arrest in 1943 and his execution in 1945, just weeks before the end of World War II. It was during his time in prison that Bonhoeffer penned some of his most profound reflections on the nature of evil and stupidity. In a letter to his friends, he wrote, "Stupidity is a more dangerous enemy of the good than malice. One may protest against evil. It can be exposed and, if need be, prevented by use of force. Evil always carries within itself the germ of its own subversion, in that it leaves behind in human beings at least a sense of unease. Against stupidity, we are defenseless." This statement encapsulates Bonhoeffer's central argument, that while evil can be recognized and resisted, stupidity often goes unchallenged and can therefore cause far more damage. But what exactly did Bonhoeffer mean by stupidity in this context? It is crucial to understand that Bonhoeffer was not referring to a lack of intelligence or cognitive ability. Rather, he was describing a particular mindset characterized by willful ignorance, intellectual laziness, and a refusal to engage critically with one's beliefs and assumptions. This form of stupidity, Bonhoeffer argued, is not an innate quality, but a socially conditioned state that can affect individuals of all intellectual capacities. Bonhoeffer observed that this type of stupidity often manifests as a stubborn adherence to simplistic ideologies or narratives, even in the face of contradictory evidence. It is marked by a resistance to nuanced thinking and a tendency to embrace black and white worldviews. In Nazi Germany, this mentality allowed many otherwise intelligent people to accept and even participate in the regime's atrocities without questioning the underlying logic or morality of their actions. One of the key reasons Bonhoeffer considered stupidity more dangerous than evil is its resistance to rational argument or moral persuasion. While an evil person might be swayed by appeals to conscience or self-interest, a stupid person, in Bonhoeffer's sense of the term, is often impervious to such approaches. Their beliefs are not based on reason or evidence, but on emotional attachments and social conditioning, making them extremely difficult to dislodge. Moreover, Bonhoeffer noted that stupidity often serves as a fertile ground for evil to take root and flourish. When a population is unwilling or unable to think critically about their circumstances, they become susceptible to manipulation by those with malicious intent. This dynamic was clearly visible in the way the Nazi regime exploited existing prejudices and resentments to gain popular support for its genocidal policies. Another aspect of stupidity that Bonhoeffer found particularly troubling was its tendency to spread through social contagion. He observed that individuals who might otherwise be capable of independent thought could be influenced by the prevailing attitudes of their peers and social environment. This phenomenon helps explain how entire societies can become complicit in atrocities, even when many individuals within those societies would not typically be considered evil. Bonhoeffer's insights on the dangers of stupidity remain remarkably relevant in the contemporary world. In an era of information overload, echo chambers, and polarized political discourse, the temptation to retreat into simplistic thinking and tribal loyalties is stronger than ever. The proliferation of conspiracy theories, the rise of extremist ideologies, and the persistence of science denialism all bear witness to the ongoing threat posed by willful ignorance and intellectual complacency. The implications of Bonhoeffer's argument extend far beyond the realm of politics and social dynamics. In fields ranging from environmental policy to public health, the refusal to engage with complex realities and inconvenient truths can have devastating consequences. Climate change denial, for instance, exemplifies the kind of stupidity Bonhoeffer warned against, a stubborn rejection of scientific evidence that threatens the very future of human civilization. So how can societies combat this pernicious form of stupidity? Bonhoeffer himself was somewhat pessimistic about the prospects for change, noting that stupidity is often a deeply entrenched psychological state that resists external intervention. However, he did suggest that education, not merely in the sense of imparting knowledge, but in cultivating critical thinking skills and intellectual curiosity, could serve as a bulwark against the spread of stupidity. In the decades since Bonhoeffer's death, his insights have been echoed and expanded upon by numerous thinkers and scholars. The field of cognitive psychology, for instance, has shed light on the various biases and heuristics that can lead even intelligent individuals to make irrational decisions or hold unfounded beliefs. This research underscores the importance of developing metacognitive skills, the ability to reflect on and critically examine one's own thought processes. Ultimately, Bonhoeffer's warning about the dangers of stupidity serves as a call to intellectual and moral vigilance. It challenges us to constantly question our assumptions, seek out diverse perspectives, and resist the allure of simplistic explanations for complex problems. In a world where the consequences of collective stupidity can be catastrophic, from environmental destruction to the erosion of democratic institutions, heeding Bonhoeffer's message is more crucial than ever. As we navigate the challenges of the 21st century, Bonhoeffer's insights offer a sobering reminder of the responsibility we all share in cultivating a society that values critical thinking, intellectual honesty, and moral courage. Only by confronting the specter of stupidity head-on can we hope to create a world that is truly resistant to the forces of evil and injustice.